Probably seen people do that before. It basically just lets you line up the clips from multiple cameras when you're editing later. You can use the spike that occurs on the audio waveform, also track the hands coming together for a visual reference, and then you can line up all your clips. And actually, if you just clap, usually the modern editing software will just line everything up for you automatically by reading the audio waveform and figuring out how it aligns. So that actually works pretty well, but the professional way to do it is with a clapperboard. Now, you've probably heard of a clapperboard before, you've seen it before. It's synonymous with the movies. It's kind of two sticks and then they snap together and cause a big clapping sound. So imagine this is my clapperboard, and this is the sticks, which is another name for a clapperboard, by the way. Some people just call it the sticks. And then underneath the sticks, you've got the slate, which is another name for a clapperboard. Sometimes they'll call it a slate. And that's where you have all your information about your production. Act 1, scene 1, take 1, well, 4, 5, whatever this is. So when you have a clapperboard, you can hold this up to the cameras so that when you're back in the edit studio and you've got like 30 or 40 different clips and the dates and times are wrong because your battery and your GoPro ran out and you're not sure where things are supposed to slot in, you can refer back to the clapperboard shot at the start of the clip. And they also have up the top here, they often have colors, and those are so that you can reference them when you're editing later. If you want something that's going to be the same color in every shot, then that clapperboard will do that job for you. I'm also going to build mine with a white patch, and I've got some special matte white paint that I'm going to use to ensure that it's a pristine white, and then you can use that to calibrate your white balance as well. This was all inspired because I found this in Hard Rubbish, and it's basically just a Blackboard, but the moment I saw it, instantly thought, clapperboard, that's going to be cool. And you know, that way I get to save money, because these clapperboards, surely they're expensive, right? So I got this thing, put it in my garage, installed it, and then moved interstate and brought it with me. And how much do these clapperboards cost? About 30 bucks. But at least making my own is a lot more fun, and I get to customize it. So I can add like a whole bunch of cool things to it. What could possibly be cool that you could add? Put a handle in here. Add these colored tapes that I had lying around. They're going to be my color references. I'm just going to stick those across the top. And then at the end here, I will paint it white. I'm going to use this tin to hold chalk so it can hold it perfectly. And then I'll attach that down the bottom here. So that way, when you open it up, you can tip the whole clapperboard to the side and get the chalk out. I found this retractable key holder that we got from some conference. And I'm just going to attach the little circular thing at the bottom here. And then that way I can have dangling off this something to wipe the board with. All right, I'm so excited to be finally cutting this thing up. All right, so first step, we're going to remove this Blackboard. It's all a little bit warped. Well, let's measure out A4 size, and then if it feels too big, we can always cut it smaller. Okay, well that's the start of our clapperboard. That's a very satisfying clap. I don't like how loose it is. Flexing back and forth like that. This MDF is cheap shit. I don't know whether to pivot. The whole joy of this thing was that it was all going to be converting one Blackboard into a clapperboard. I wonder if I could use this offcut. Cut along here. And then cut along. This is much thicker wood too, so it'll fit the hinge better. Here we go, one piece of wood. Now we need a clapper. Let's see if another piece of scrap will save us. There we go. What's the matter with that? I want it to hit on the side for a bit of crack, I think. You're a disappointment. You do sound bloody good. Might be able to make a handle like that. I was about to say, do I need to reinforce this? Probably not if I didn't do that. All right, now we leave that for several hours. Alrighty, so this is well and truly dried now. Probably should have clamped it. It sounds good. Alright, so we've got this. So what I'll do is glue this back together and then I'll just run this down the side. So we want a very flat section that's not too warped. I think we've got to use the drying time on this glue to let the ink from this pen dry on this board. We need to fit all of this in there. Maybe then what I'll do is I'll draw in the lines. I'll leave as much space for notes as I can. And there's no way my day-night is going to be that big, or my int x is going to be that big, so notes. Oh, what has happened to this pen? That's very annoying. Okay, well that is the finished product. I'm pretty happy with that. Alrighty, so this is dry. Looks pretty good. Alright, this is the test. Can I write? And then we can just wipe it all off. And white pen remains. Alright, that's pretty good. And this has dried as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is drill a big hole in the top and a small hole in the bottom, and then I'll be able to screw it to this wood. A little bit of the screw has poked through. Let's see if we can just see it. Thank you, hacksaw I made when I was 15. Now, I need to make the handle smoother. To be honest, it doesn't need to be much smaller. I think we'll just shave the edges off. My idea is to carve with the jigsaw. Yeah, it was probably a terrible idea from the start. It started working. And then it stopped working. How much gluing am I going to have to do? I mean, maybe that's better anyway. Just roll with it. You can hold that pretty comfortably like that, to be honest. I feel like glue is not going to be enough to hold this in place. There needs to be some sort of recess in here. I don't have a drill bit nearly big enough for that though. I think if we wanted it to go there. So I forgot to hit record on this last section. But basically what I did is I used this very large drill bit to carve out a hole. Alright, so the design's changed a little bit. I seem to be ticking off everything that I wanted. Got this press fit retractable keychain, which worked so much better than I expected. This is clacking the way I want it to. Got our chalk holder. Don't need to build a handle into it because it's got a built-in handle. All we need to do now is paint this white, attach this board, and we're good. Alrighty, so how's this thing looking? It's bloody good. I think I will do another coat. Okay, so this has finished drying. Alright, that looks pretty good. So that's going to be the front of it. Action! So we're just out there. I just need to attach this, and I'm going to put some glue. I'm going to feed a bunch of glue in there. What I'm going to do is use that seam. Never know when a bit of rope will come in handy. And I'm going to keep the rest of this bag because why wouldn't you? And so the reason why I wanted the seam is because it's like reinforced that way. Less likely to tear later. Okay, brand new blade on this. And so really we just want it to be that big. Pretty good. So it's really important to me that this is pressure fitted. That's what really will hold it there. That should be enough. Perfect. It's out of the way of the slate when it's hanging. I don't think that's going anywhere. Like that. And this is going to be my white section here because it's a beautiful white. The paint's just really even there. So that'll be my white balance tester. So I'm going to preserve that. So here's what I'm trying to do. I'm lining up on this side with the existing tape. And then trying to line up that. Oh, there we go. That was nice. Okay. Beautiful. Alright, so I think we need at least 2 black, because that's what a lot of these cool ass professional ones look like. And I want it about the same width as the tape itself. Oh, that's beautiful. Put some tension on the tape. Just be confident with your slice. Let's change it up with the colours now. That is looking pretty sick, if you ask me. I've had this since I was like 10 years old. Very cool label maker, by the way, the Nimbot. How does that look? What just came off? Something just came off. Alright, so now we can just go, tip out a bit of chalk, Clapperboard vid, scene, I don't know, 5 or something. Shot A. Actually, this is probably more like shot C. Let's just quickly wipe that out. Shot C. Take 1. It is night, interior. We're shooting on 25 frames per second. It is the 11th of the 8th. And I don't have any notes. I say, done.